What you're looking for, but I think most importantly, obviously, a guy has to have arm talent. And can a guy process football, at the rate that you need him to be able to do it? Is he a guy who can lead an organization? Because I think we all know the quarterback becomes the face of the organization. I think that's really important, and a lot of pressure comes with that. So a guy got to be able to handle that.
Is that when you start to find out here?
Oh yeah, I think you obviously got to be around people to get a true feel of that. But this is the first process, that you get to really get a feel for the guy can do that.
Browns were pretty hands-on with the draft quarterbacks last year at pro days and whatnot. Do you anticipate being that hands-on again with this class?
I sure do. I think we'll, as an organization, we'll do anything and everything we need to do to make sure that we see them all the guys that we feel like have a chance to play for us.
We haven't talked to you since season ended. What's your evaluation? What's the back of how Robert Griffin played, and what are your thoughts about keeping him with the team going forward?
Well, obviously, Robert's on our roster right now. I think there are some things that he did well, some things he needed to continue to improve at, and we're going to keep working with him, until we don't. So he's one of the three quarterbacks on our football team right now. Very fortunate we do have some guys under contract right now to work with, but we got to continue to get him better, as he moves forward.
When you're looking at a quarterback who plays in an offense in college and this is compatible with your offense or NFL offense, what are the keys to that?
Well, I think it's some of the things I just mentioned. I think, there's no substitute for arm talent. There's no substitute. Can a guy really process, what they're trying to accomplish, and then can it fit into the National Football League? I think we all know it's been tough, trying to evaluate that position because it's so different in college than what it is in the National Football League. But, those things won't change. I think there's a couple of key characteristics that you got to have. Obviously, can you throw? Can you process? Can you lead your team? Those are three very fundamental things that I think will show itself, from a college quarterback. I think that's great. It's good that he's over 6'2". We all have a profile for what we like a quarterback to do, and I think you kind of work through that. I like a guy that's a little taller, and he is over 6'2", so that's great for him.
So that'll give you an idea of what
I think you can improve a lot of skills, over time. I think you create the environment, repetition for a player to continue to do those things and do them well. But obviously, I think you said it, sometimes guys just have that. We'd rather have a guy that has it all, and then we just continue to improve it or make it better. But, obviously, throwing the ball accurately is very important in the National Football League. Well, we're going to keep searching. I think it's important that, I think we all understand no one's really claimed this position yet on our football team. So we need to do everything we can to continue to add a player that we feel as an organization really good about that can lead our football team. And we'll continue to chase that. I think my feelings are different in the sense that we need to do whatever we feel is important to improve our football team. I think what's most important, we have a lot of assets here as we move forward to do a lot of different things to improve our roster, and I think that's what's most important. Well, I think we have to, feel that way because that potentially could happen. It all depends on how this all unfolds. But I know we're doing anything and everything we can to improve that position. I think that's really important, and I think that's where Sashi was coming from. That it could happen that way. Not that we want it to be that way, but at the same time, that's a reality too. But we're going to do everything we can to go find a quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. I'm not going to get into all these things, Hobbs. We're not going to talk about that. Thank you.
Do you know anything about football in terms of what's coming through the draft now with quarterbacks? Anybody good?
I think what's most important is find a guy that can win for us, over time and can sustain it and do it week in and week out. Obviously, this is the National Football League. It's a quarterback-driven league. You have to have a guy that can play consistently week in, week out, and I think we're gonna see if we can find that. We have some guys on our team right now that are continuing to work hard and improve, but we need to get those guys better too. But we need to also just continue to improve the talent level at that position as much as we can, as much as we're allowed to. Absolutely. Well, I don't know if it's just experience. I think, as you know, you got to surround the team with talent. It's not just putting a quarterback on the team. He's a huge piece of it, but you also have to equip that quarterback with an opportunity to win. So I think there's a lot of things that go into that, and I think we understand where we are and what we need to do, and I think our executive staff, along with our coaching staff, that's what we're setting out to do. Again, it'll be another piece, another opportunity for us to supplement our team. I think we're going to look at every avenue to get our football team better. I totally understand that we will do that, and we'll do it to the best of our ability. We're not going to go out there and do anything that's just way over the top, because I think it's important that we do it very smartly, but also very aggressively. But we'll do everything we can to improve this team. It's important. Obviously, Terrell's a huge piece of what we did a year ago. Obviously, we're working through that, and it's got to work both ways. It's got to fit for all involved, for him, for us, and hopefully it will, and hopefully we can get that done here soon.
Do you have a sense whether you think any of the college draftable quarterbacks are ready to play right away?
Well, I think it's too soon. I think we're still in the process of finding out to know that for sure. That's why we're here, to spend more time with them and see what they know, what they don't know, and how we can help them and how they fit, in our system. So we'll know more about all these guys as we continue to move forward. 6'2". 6'2". Because I think a guy has to be about 6'2" to play in this league. The special guys, I don't want to take anything away from them. There's some other quarterbacks that's played in this league that's not 6'2", but majority of the guys, there he is, majority of the guys that have played, they've been 6'2" or a little bit better. And I just feel that's what I like in a quarterback. Well, I think you evaluate it all. I think it's important. I think when you talk about profiles, you want a guy to be a certain height, certain weight, certain speed, all those things. But then there's other factors that are factored in that too, about arm talent and processing and all the other things we talked about. So it's just a piece of it, but I think it's an important piece.
Someday you will be not answering quarterback questions.
Absolutely. I don't like it. Yeah, and we do. I think we all get it. We need to find a guy that can lead our team, lead this organization to winning week in and week out.
I don't know if this question was asked, but you have a young football.
How important is that for anything? When you come to that position, when you can go into the offseason and not have to worry about it, what does that allow you to do building the rest of the process? You don't even have to.
Well, I think it's all kind of ways to do it. I think it's important. You have to have that guy, but you have to make decisions about, what that looks like as you start to put that guy on your football team. Because as I said earlier, you got to be able to support that position the right way as well. It's not just about putting a quarterback on the team and saying, okay, here we go. You got to make sure that he has enough weapons. You got to make sure that you're able to protect him and put him in the right spot so he can.